Hello, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss our latest videos. Today, we delve deep into a chapter of history that remains etched in the collective memory of humanity. A moment that stands as a testament to the devastating power of human invention and the resilience of the human spirit. Join us as we unveil the devastation of Hiroshima, remembering a city and its people forever changed by the horrors of nuclear warfare. As the first light of August 6, 1945, broke over Hiroshima, few could have imagined the cataclysmic event that was about to unfold. The city, with its bustling streets, vibrant markets, and the laughter of children playing, was a picture of everyday life. Hiroshima was a strategic military hub, but for its residents, it was home, a place of routines, dreams, and aspirations. But that morning, the sky bore witness to an unprecedented event. At precisely 8:15 a.m., the serenity was shattered as a blinding flash illuminated the horizon. The atomic bomb, codenamed Little Boy, was dropped by the US B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, detonating approximately 600 meters above the city. In an instant, Hiroshima was engulfed in a fireball, with temperatures soaring to over 4,000 degrees Celsius. The immediate blast wiped out nearly everything within a 1-mile radius, leaving behind only shadows of the people and objects that once stood there. The city's very fabric was altered in that defining moment, a moment that would set the course for the rest of the 20th century and beyond. The decision to drop an atomic bomb on Hiroshima was not taken lightly. As World War II raged on, the Allies sought a swift end to the conflict, hoping to avoid a prolonged invasion of Japan. The Manhattan Project, a top-secret US research initiative, had successfully developed the world's first atomic bombs. The power of these weapons was beyond anything the world had ever seen. As the Enola Gay, piloted by Colonel Paul Tibbets, approached Hiroshima, the crew was acutely aware of the gravity of their mission. At 8:15 a.m., Little Boy was released, free falling for 43 seconds before detonating. The explosion released an energy equivalent to 15,000 tons of TNT, creating a mushroom cloud that rose miles into the sky. The devastation was immediate and overwhelming. Buildings were flattened, rivers boiled, and a firestorm raged, consuming everything in its path. Those who were not instantly killed by the blast faced the raging fires, with many trapped under collapsed structures or severely burned. But the horror didn't end with the explosion. The radiation released by the bomb would have long-term effects, leading to sickness, mutations, and death for many of the survivors. Hiroshima, a city once teeming with life, was transformed into a wasteland in mere moments. In the moments following the explosion, an eerie silence enveloped Hiroshima. The once bustling city was shrouded in darkness, with only the distant crackling of fires breaking the quiet. As the thick, radioactive ash began to settle, survivors, known as Hibakusha, emerged from the ruins, their faces etched with shock and disbelief. The city's infrastructure was decimated. Roads were impassable, bridges had collapsed, and communication lines were severed. Hospitals, schools, and homes were reduced to rubble, making organized relief efforts nearly impossible. Those who could move began a desperate search for loved ones, while others lay injured, waiting for help that seemed would never come. Water sources were contaminated, and food was scarce. Many of those who survived the initial blast succumbed to their injuries in the days that followed, with no medical aid to alleviate their suffering. The injured, covered in burns and blisters, were overwhelmed by pain and thirst. Many turned to the city's rivers, only to find them filled with the bodies of the deceased. Amidst the chaos, stories of heroism emerged. Makeshift clinics were set up by doctors and nurses who had survived, offering whatever care they could with limited resources. Ordinary citizens banded together, sharing food, water, and shelter, showcasing the indomitable human spirit even in the face of unparalleled tragedy. The immediate devastation of Hiroshima was palpable, but the long-term effects of the atomic bomb were equally harrowing. The city's survivors, the Hibakusha, faced not only the trauma of that fateful day but also the prolonged consequences of radiation exposure. In the weeks and months that followed, many began to exhibit symptoms of radiation sickness. Hair loss, fatigue, nausea, and bleeding became all too common. The radiation had penetrated deep into their bodies, damaging cells and altering DNA. This led to a surge in cancers, particularly leukemia, and other radiation-induced diseases, affecting survivors for decades. Children born to Hibakusha parents were often stigmatized, as fears and misconceptions about radiation-induced genetic mutations spread. Many faced discrimination in employment and marriage, further deepening the wounds of the bombing. The environmental impact was also profound. Hiroshima's flora and fauna suffered mutations, and the city's soil and water sources remained contaminated for years. Recovery seemed a distant dream, with the land scarred and the community's spirit broken. Yet, the resilience of the Hibakusha became a beacon of hope. They became advocates for peace and disarmament, sharing their stories with the world to ensure that the horrors of nuclear warfare would never be repeated. Their testimonies, filled with pain but also with hope, became instrumental in global movements against nuclear proliferation. From the ashes of devastation, Hiroshima has risen like a phoenix, embodying the spirit of resilience and hope. Today, the city stands as a testament to the indomitable will of its people and their commitment to peace. Modern Hiroshima is a bustling metropolis, with skyscrapers, shopping districts, and cultural hubs. But amidst this urban landscape, reminders of its painful past are ever present. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, located at the epicenter of the blast, is a solemn space dedicated to the memory of the victims. The iconic A-bomb dome, a skeletal structure that miraculously survived the explosion, stands as a haunting reminder and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Every year on August 6, thousands gather at the park for the Peace Memorial ceremony. Lanterns are floated down the Motoyasu River, each light representing a soul lost, a prayer for peace, and a pledge to ensure that such a tragedy never occurs again. Museums and educational centers in the city are dedicated to teaching future generations about the consequences of nuclear warfare. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum offers a deep dive into the events of that fateful day, showcasing artifacts, photographs, and personal testimonies from survivors. But Hiroshima is not just about its past, it's a city that looks forward. It has become a global symbol of peace and disarmament, hosting international conferences and welcoming peace ambassadors from around the world. The message is clear: Hiroshima's history should not be forgotten, but its future is one of hope, unity, and a world free from nuclear weapons. The legacy of Hiroshima extends far beyond its borders, serving as a poignant reminder of the devastating consequences of war and the unparalleled destructive power of nuclear weapons. Its story is one that has shaped global policies, international relations, and the collective conscience of humanity. The immediate aftermath of the bombing led to a global reckoning. Nations around the world were forced to confront the ethical implications of using such weapons. The horrors witnessed in Hiroshima played a significant role in the establishment of international treaties and agreements aimed at nuclear disarmament and nonproliferation. Its legacy is a call to action, urging the world to come together in the pursuit of a future where such atrocities are relegated to the annals of history, never to be repeated. As we reflect on the events of Hiroshima, it's essential to remember that this isn't just a chapter in a history book. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the dangers of unchecked power, and the profound need for peace and understanding in our world. The shadows etched into the streets of Hiroshima, the stories of loss and survival, and the city's transformation from ground zero to a beacon of hope all serve as powerful reminders. They urge us to champion diplomacy over conflict, understanding over ignorance, and unity over division. In today's rapidly changing world, where tensions can escalate in the blink of an eye, the lessons from Hiroshima are more relevant than ever. We must strive to ensure that the horrors of that fateful day are not forgotten, and more importantly, are never repeated. As we conclude our journey through Hiroshima's past and present, let's carry forward its message of peace, hope, and resilience. Let's remember Hiroshima not just for the devastation it endured but for the enduring message it offers to the world, that out of the ashes of destruction, hope can rise, and a brighter future is always possible.